They're unusually low. The way we're fighting, it's almost like I'm paddling a fearsome four-legged beast!
What's up, collectors? P-Rockzilla back again with another review. And today we're going to take a look at my favorite character from the anime Demon Slayer, Inosuke. And this is the Figma DX edition of Inosuke from the anime Demon Slayer. And when I first saw this guy, like I said, with this anime, when I first saw pictures of the anime, I thought it was going to be a little too kiddish for me, cartoonish. You had the blonde guy is always whining, and just everybody looked a little young. Then when I saw this dude right here, I'm like, who the heck is this guy with this freaking boar's head? I thought the design and just the idea of him was a little weird when I first saw it, but then upon watching the anime the first season, this guy freaking grew on me hardcore. I love this dude. I love the fact that he is a pretty boy underneath the mask, but then he's all rough and brave, and he's just careless out there. He got the crazy sword, like the edges on the sword that he basically cut and made himself. During the anime, some people said it didn't look right, or his blades look crappy, but to me, it's a unique feature of a character, and I like the characters that stick out. So this is why I like this character. So let's get this review started. Dale. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the box before we get the figure out the box, because I know for a fact Figmas do have KO's versions made of them in the aftermarket, so you get an idea of what you should get when you get an official one. So this is the DX one. You get the gold foil, or the DX edition right here. Zero bar on the bottom. Nice picture of the figure there. You get the Demon Slayer logo, Figma, Max Factory. Then you get all the legal information right here in the bottom. Some cool poses with the figure with all the accessories. And then you do get a cool picture of him right there. And then you slide this out right here. And then you get the window right there of the figure. Everything inside. You get more pictures of the figure there. And then we switch this around. And you get the same poses you get in the outside box, but a little more clear. More pictures. More pictures. More pictures. Alright. Let's get the boar's head out the box. Now once you get the figure out the box, you move the box to the side. And you're greeted with the clamshell. Take this top clamshell cover off, and you have two layers. The first layer has the figure, his swords, sheets, and some of the accessories in the hands. Right below here, in here, as you can see in there. Oop, there goes a piece that fell off. So right underneath here, you have the hands, the stand, and the base, and everything. And then below that, you actually have his sword effects right here. So this is just in the bottom layer. And then one thing to take into consideration, behind the box, if I bring the box over here real quick, underneath that blue cardboard, behind there are the stickers taped there. These are the stickers that you would use, the accessory pieces that go on his face. So this is something different little. I've never seen this before for Figma. Usually comes with the instructions, and at least so far, I have not seen any instructions in the package. So this is going to be an interesting one. All right, let's go ahead and get him and all his accessories out. So we're going to take a close, detailed look at everything he comes with. There we have him laid out with all the accessories that came in the package. And as you can see, it's a decent amount of things right there. So of course, let's go ahead and take a look at the figure first. So let's go ahead and grab the figure and see how he resembles the figure in the anime. As you can see there, looks pretty good. Looks almost identical to him. The only issue I see coming out like from the packaging that I saw right away were these shoulders. You see the joints right there. I'm not 100% sure if these, they look like they slide down, as you can see there. Let me show you if I can get you a little more focus in there. But I'm not sure if I can actually get them. Like, I'm trying to push these down, the shoulders down a little bit more. As you can see, one is higher than the other, so it kind of tells me they can move, but there is a lot of resistance there, so I'm afraid of breaking these pegs. So I'm going to try to slowly push these down to see if I can get these to come down more. But let's take a look at the figure, like I said. So as you can see, you got those blue eyes with the swirls in there. You got the boar's teeth, nose, everything's showing there. In the back there, you got his muscles. As you can see, he is a topless character, so you're gonna see a lot of muscles, a lot of skin on this guy. You got the little boar's fur right here in the bottom. And the pants, as you can see there. So it looks like him. Looks just like him. So of course, let's go ahead and get the articulation. So the head can move further up. It can move pretty far down. He can look sideways. You have articulation. There's like a little layer piece right here. As you can see, when this moves, the lower portion doesn't really move as much. So it does give you some slack. It can move sideways a little bit. So you kind of have 2 points of articulation at the neck. The arms, like I said, I'm a little nervous. I'm going to mess around with it after I do the review. See if I can get, or maybe during the final poses, to see if I can mess with this to bring this down more. Because when I try to bring them up, they rub against the fur portion right here of the mask. So that they have to go down. Because look, see, I can't even get like a full T-pose on him. Because it keeps hitting the mask. So, I'm not sure. I'm going to mess around with this some more. I'm scared, man. Hold on. Alright, so maybe it did move down a little bit. I don't know. Anyways. Alright, so arms can go forward. Can go out. He does have somewhat double bend at the elbow. It doesn't go fully double because it does hit the biceps there. And he does have swivel at the shoulders, as you can see there. Hands can go forward, backwards, that much. All right, and then we have this here. You get twist at the wrist, and then you do get pivot at the wrist too. All right, so then he does have, let's see the back bend. He can move back decent amount. Can move forward good amount too. Good ab crunch. Now with this articulation, this is a little bothering right there in the back that you have this big gap there. Because even when you stand them straight, you still have a gap there. And I mean, I know you're not going to really see this from behind the figure, but they could have kind of added a little bit more plastic to kind of fill that gap in a little bit more. All right, so let's see if you get twist. So you get minimum twist on the waist, right below the chest here. None at the abs or the waist and the bottom. Let's make sure. Yep. So I guess because of the way they have this articulation going on here, you don't get any twist at the waist. And then the fur portions are articulated, so if you can actually see, they're all segmented to 2 separate points. So this one right here is attached to that peg right there, which is attached to this one right here, and then is attached to the one in the back right here. So this is all one piece right here attached, and then same thing on the other side, as you can see here, all attached to one piece. You can open this up to kind of get a little bit more articulation here, and you can adjust these a little bit, so you can have them kind of like floating in the air like that. Or just, you know, maybe he's opening. I never really seen him with this open in the anime, so not sure. All right, so we got this. Now I kind of forgot which one's supposed to overlap the other one. I don't know. So yep, so you do get articulation there at the back. In the back also, like I said before, so you can kind of twist this around a little bit, move it up more, as you can see. And as we do that, we can go ahead and take opportunity to look at his legs. So the legs have these weird joints, but you can see that they're hidden with the fur. And the legs, you can actually pull down. If you can see there, you can pull down on the leg to kind of give you more articulation. As you can see there, legs can go forward. Knees have double bend, so you get a good flying knee action right there. And then with this pulled down, you could get a very good split going on right here. So this is a good split action right there going. Let's bring this back up. Let's see how far with these legs down. Oh, that came off right there. As you can see, that's going to happen to you. Just peg them right back in. All right, so let's go ahead and put this back up and let's see how far his legs can go. So he could do a split, sideways split too. All right, so so let's go ahead and adjust that. So we did see the knee. You do get swivel at the shin. And then for the toes and the feet, they can go back about that far. They can go up about that far. And then you also have toe articulation. Wow, that's some good toe articulation. Looks like he broke his toes. Dang. So that's going to be some awesome running poses. And you do get swivel at the ankle and no pivot. Alright, so we got all the articulation out the way. Let's go ahead and start looking at some of the accessories that he does come with. Oh, and you do get sideways. So you could get some kind of like a sideways motion with the head also for articulation. Alright, so he does come with the 2 swords. These are the sheath versions right here of the sword. And the way that would work is basically, you would see it kind of looks like the sword is in there all the way. I'm sorry. So this is how you have the unsheathed version with the cool self-cut out edges there on the sword. As you don't know if he did this himself. He does it to his own swords. He likes this type of sword style better. And then the way these work is basically these, according to instructions, will attach right there. Oh yeah, by the way, there are instructions in there. They're hidden with the hands. So this would just basically plug in right there. And that's how you will have the sword's sheath attached to him. And you guys, so you get both of those. You do get the separate nose that you can swap out. This is when he kind of gets mad or a little too anxious. He has the smoke blowing out the nose. And that's easily swapped out by just pulling off the nose right here, as you can see. And just putting the other one there. I'll have this for one of my poses, my final poses. So I don't want to do it just yet. So that's how you swap out the nose. He does, as I mentioned before, he is a pretty boy. So he does come with the unmasked head sculpt. As you can see, this is what he looks like. And he does come with the screaming face. So if you do want to swap these out, all you gotta do is basically pull the bangs out first. And then you got the face right there. And then just basically pull the face right out. And then swap it out with this one. And then just put the bangs right back on. So there you go. Now you can see how you swap out the faces. Put that back on, and then this basically pegs on. You can replace the head there. Just put this peg right onto there, and you have the head. And then he comes with a full ensemble of swappable hands. He has the open ones, and these are like the ones. This is for the sword wielding, action hands, and then he does come with 4 separate hands with the anti-shrink pegs in there. So I'm not sure why they kind of added these separate. Could have just had a bigger peg to have more of the hands in there. But these are bagged separate along with these 2 right here. It's like a thumbs up. And then another sword, wooden hand. You do get the baggie. Every Figma comes with a baggie that you actually can put your accessories in there and mark down who the accessories belong to. He does come with the 2 sword effects. And what's different with this one is unique is different with this figure right here. As you can see there, this Figma figure actually comes with 2 different stands. Most Figmas just come with this one base and stand right here. This is another way you can tell a bootlegger now, because the bootleggers usually don't have the Figma logo on here. And then this is the unique one that comes with this figure. It's more of a bigger base. And if you look, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 peg holes. It does come with these 2 stands that you would basically peg into here or here, wherever you want. And these 2 will basically plug right into the effect right here. You plug it in right there. And then you attach this bottom portion to the base so you can have the effect part. And the reason you have these 2 is for the effect, and you have 1 for the figure. So this will plug into the base right in the middle portion, wherever you want. And then the other portion will just plug in right to the back right here. So that's how you will get the dynamic displays with the effects. And last but not least, he does come with these stickers. Like I said, these are the ones that are stuck to the back of the cardboard, so just keep that in mind. And these are the ones you normally would swap out. Then they basically would go on portions of the head. Now, I gotta look at the instructions because it looks like they're actually just regular stickers. So I'm not sure if you would just stick them on there or if they're replaceable. Once you could put them on, take them off, or just one-time use. So I'll find out. And then he does actually come with a spare wrist peg and a spare accessory for the base and stand to kind of give it extension if you want to have more of a dynamic pose on him. All right, so that's everything that came with him. Let's go ahead and get size comparison started. Now we have Inosuke stay in their default pose, and let's go ahead and bring in some figures to do a good size comparison. And of course, let's go ahead and first bring in another Figma figure, and this is the Tanjiro Figma from Demon Slayer also. So as you can see there, they're about the same height, which is kind of accurate to the anime. Then let's go ahead and bring in an SH Figure Arts Itachi from Naruto. So there we have Itachi. Let's go ahead and bring in a Takara Tomy Transformers Masterpiece Wheeljack. One of my favorite Transformers. And then last but not least, let's bring in a Mesco 112 Deadpool. So there we go. Good size comparison of figures around the same scale but different lines. So you get a good idea of how your figure would look if you have any of these in your collection or in your display. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the final thoughts and final poses. Since he comes with the accessory of the scared face, I wanted to have a pose with Zenitsu right there with them, as they both are doing the scared pose right now. More likely this could be one of the type scenes where this dude kind of wakes up from his almost indestructible, invincible mode, and Inosuke is kind of like, what are you doing? Like the whole time you should stay sleeping. But they do look good together. I love the way they kind of have like almost the same type pose. I did have issues kind of trying in those sheath into the pegs. For some reason they're not fully sitting in there for me. So something I kind of have to work on a little bit more to kind of get in there fully flushed. But it may be an issue for other collectors who may be getting this figure. Just want to get that out there. The head swap was simple, nothing too hard. You kind of have to pull the head slowly, and those shoulders do pivot down. You just got to be very, very careful to do it slow. As I was doing it, I was kind of getting some tension, and I felt some kind of stress on the peg. So I just had to basically kind of get it slow and kind of pull and grab on the whole shoulder portion to kind of slowly slide it down. But they do go down, and it gives more articulation to the figure. And there we have Inosuke coming down, swiping with his edge blades with the cool blast effect going on there. And I would have to say, out of all the Figma ones that came out so far from Demon Slayer, I would have to say this right here, to my opinion, so far are the best blast effects. They're easy to manipulate, look nice when you pose them. They match up perfectly with the blades, and you can have them basically going when he's in the air or on the ground. So you have multiple display options with this action base and blast effects going on with him right there. I love this character so much. The sword is unique. I'm even contemplating picking up a replica sword at this New York Comic Con for this character right here. They had him last year at New York Comic Con. I wasn't that much into Demon Slayer just yet, as I didn't start watching the anime. But now that I did, and I'm done with the seasons and I'm caught up, I think if New York Comic Con has that replica sword this year, I may have to pick that up, because my boarhead guy right here is the coolest character in the show, man. Like, he's almost indestructible at some point. He's kind of like Wolverine, like a samurai Wolverine. And that's why I like this guy too. And the fact that he covers his face. You guys know me, I wear the shades, kind of cover the hat and shades. I like characters kind of cover their identity a little bit, not having their full personal face displayed and showing everything to everybody. I kind of keep a little imagination hidden for the viewers. Now that I have Inosuke in my collection for my Figma Demon Slayers, I have all the ones so far that I have been released in my collection right here. The 4 main team members. I'm super happy to have the group together. And I do also have the Buzz mod version coming in soon, so I can finally complete that group also. So as if you don't know, like the Buzzmod and Figma kind of have the same figures coming out around the same time, which is a good thing because you can actually compare the figures in between the two since it's still fresh in your mind from opening one or the other. From my experience, I think the Figmas, actually no, the Buzzmod's been coming out first before the Figmas, so it's a good thing. I'm not sure why I got my Figma before my Buzzmod of him, but hey, I'm happy to have him because, like I said, this is my favorite character. And with the Buzzmod version, I can have him displayed in a dynamic pose along with the others. Now, one thing to know with this figure also is I kept having issues with that one flap coming out and it kept coming loose, but it's not an issue. It pegs right in easily. And out of all these figures right here, these four right here, he is the one that has the most articulation and can hold the pose better between all of them. He also has, in my opinion, the best blast effect between the four. So I'm happy that he has that. And when the Buzzmod one comes in, this is going to look beautiful display when I have these Figma ones displayed like in these default, more of the animated style poses. And then I'm going to have the Buzzmod ones more of a dynamic, ready for action type poses, all on the same shelf. So it could be a good representation of both versions all at one time. So if you're looking forward to this figure, I know there's a DX version and the regular version available. I did skip the DX version on one of them here, but I would not recommend skipping on the DX version of him right here, because I would say the blast effect, which is, like I said, the slicing one, is the best so far. And you can actually use that with the Buzzmod one, because unfortunately the Buzzmod one is not coming with any kind of effects, which is a bad thing because all the other ones did come with it and they were all awesome. So the benefit is you could use them with the Buzzmod and vice versa. So as always, people, I hope you enjoy this anime, as this is one of the coolest animes out there right now. And I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please hit that like, subscribe button, click that bell notification. And as always, collectors, keep collecting, be safe, have a good one, dale.